What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Legitical Response. We cover political news, and the utter confusion coming from the Democrat Party is just lovely to watch because they propped up a corpse, for goodness sakes. The corporate press, the White House, the whole Biden administration, the Democrat Party itself propped up a corpse. Said, oh, he's a dynamo in the background. Yeah, he's just fine. His doctor says he's okay, right? Which we've got a story coming up talking about that, but they just did an outright bait and switch on the American people. Now, they don't know what to do because the debate went so poorly for Joe Biden that you've got the corporate press is in utter disarray. Like, some of them are like, no, we got to get rid of Joe Biden. And on the other hand...
Breaking news. Biden speaking out. The president just addressing donors, offering an explanation for why he performed so poorly at CNN's presidential debate, blaming his travel schedule, saying he almost fell asleep on stage. Biden isn't the only one trying to do a little damage control tonight. Here's Vice President Kamala Harris in a new interview with CBS News.
Joe Biden is our nominee. We beat Trump once, and we're going to beat him again, period.
Are you ready to lead the country if necessary?
I am proud to be Joe Biden's running mate.
They're trying to tell the American people, Joe Biden's fine. Don't worry about that debate. Once again, the same message they have been bringing ever since Joe Biden came into office. Don't believe your lying eyes on everything, right? The economy is in the gutter. We have an open, porous southern border that nobody on the Democrat side seems to want to fix. We have all these problems. We have the world is on fire right now, right? Like, they just want to keep dumping money into Ukraine, dumping money into Israel, but they don't know what to do about Israel either, right? Like, Joe Biden has this wing of his party that is in outright revolt over Israel because they're just, I guess they're anti-Zionist or whatever, and they just don't want to support Israel any way necessary. But then you've got the other side of the Democrat Party who... there's a lot of Jewish people in the Democrat Party who are like, what are you doing, Joe Biden? You got to support Israel. So there's utter confusion in that. And then, you know, you got the corporate press propping this guy up. And it's just lovely to watch these people flounder around on the ground. That's all I'm going to say.
Asked if one could imagine putting Mr. Biden in the same room with President Vladimir Putin of Russia. Today, a former U.S. official who helped prepare for the trip went silent for a while and then said, I just don't know. A former senior European official answered the same question by flatly saying no. So to Stuart's point, is he still up for the job? That's part of the conversation, along with whether or not he's up for the campaign, Basil.
Yeah, well, to Stuart's point, he's been doing the job, so let him do the job. You know, and this is what angers me. Look, I'm a former state party ED. I may get in trouble for the things I'm about to say, but the reality is I hate this open casting call. It's angering. I can understand acknowledging that the president didn't have a good debate, but Democrats should be out there saying that on Joe Biden's worst day, he is orders of magnitude better than Donald Trump on his best day. Why is that not the sort of prevailing narrative that's coming out of that debate?
It's because it's not true. The American people can see it. It's not just the Joe Biden debate, right? It's not just that he couldn't string two sentences together to save his freaking life. It's not just that he looks really stiff when he walked up on stage. It's not just that by itself, right? It's the constant that by itself on a daily basis. Every time we see Joe Biden, it's a...
I was going to put him...
What must be what? I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure.
Let me start off with two words. Made in America.
Him falling down, him doing something outright ridiculous.
We already have a nigger mayor. We don't need any more nigger big shots.
But people can see it. People are not blind. Why is the corporate press continually lying to the American people? It's talking about the open casting call is angering him, right? Like, and this is coming from the same people who are constantly talking about, oh, my democracy. Trump is a threat to democracy. They don't want democracy. We've been trying to tell the American people this for years now. They don't care about democracy. You are going to vote for Joe Biden, and we're going to force you to vote for Joe Biden. We don't care if you want another candidate. It's pissing us off that you want another candidate. It's pissing us off that you want democracy, because that's not democracy. That's what they're trying to tell you. Once again, don't believe your lying eyes. Joe Biden is a dynamo in the background. Biden says he was seen by his doctor after debate and is fine. So, once again, don't believe your lying eyes. He's just fine, y'all. President Biden told Democratic governors that he saw a doctor after his shaky debate performance last week and was given a clean bill of health. The comments, first reported by Politico, apparently contradict White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, who told reporters Tuesday that Biden had not had a medical exam since his February physical. White House spokesperson Andrew Bates confirmed to The Hill that Biden saw a doctor in the days after last week's debate to check in about his cold and is now recovering well. The Biden campaign said the president was hampered by a cold during the debate, during which he spoke in a quiet, raspy voice and struggled to string ideas together or rebut former President Trump's many false statements. You know, I'm sorry. It's been a couple of decades, honestly, since I've had a cold, so maybe I just don't remember, but I have had several colds in my life, and I don't remember being confused, not being able to talk. I may have talked nasally, right? Like, because my nose was plugged up, but I don't remember being confused. I don't remember being stiff. I don't remember a cold making me not able to talk whatsoever, not able to string two sentences together to make a coherent thought. Right, but they're putting out all these excuses. Then it was the jet lag, like you heard in the clip from the beginning of the video. Oh, it was jet lag. I'm sorry, but if you have a guy that is still affected by jet lag 12 days after the last time he took a trip, then there's something wrong with you, right? He was in Camp David for the week before the debate, prepping for this debate. And then you had that clip the other day of this lady saying
his answers were rambling and incoherent. He turned a response on abortion into a mention of migrant killing. I mean, this is a person that clearly was over-prepared and had a lot of different points that were sort of swimming around in his head. And as a result, it felt like the answers that were legible, if you will, were not nearly delivered with the force and the clarity that they should have been.
He had so many thoughts in his head, right? He was so prepared for the debate that he failed? Like, what? What are you talking about? These people, once again, they don't care about democracy. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about what's going on. They just want you to vote for this guy because they don't care about democracy, y'all. You can't have another candidate even if you want another candidate, right? The Biden administration has proven this outright by trying to deny any other Democrat that's trying to get on the ticket. Look at Dean Phillips. Dean Phillips went through absolute hell, an absolute undemocratic process, getting taken off of the ballot by Joe Biden. Yeah, I read out that story a while back. What Dean Phillips had to go through, what the Biden administration did to get Dean Phillips off the ticket is just outright amazing, y'all. But they don't want voters to have another, right? This is the whole reason they don't like Trump, because Trump came out of freaking nowhere. And the people voted for Donald Trump, and the people like Donald Trump. Well, sure, he's a billionaire. It's like, kind of makes you think, like, why are so many people behind Donald Trump? And the corporate press, they'll get out there and try to say, oh, well, he's just their cult leader, y'all. He's just their cult leader. No, it's because he's a human Molotov cocktail. Almost literally, right? Like, the guy promised to go in and drain the damn swamp. That's what the people want. And he tried to do that toward the end of his presidency. He came up with Schedule F. And they're doing that again. They're going to do that again this time because Donald Trump learned the lessons of his first presidency. Just because he is in charge doesn't mean that his administration isn't working behind the scenes, behind his back to damage his administration, right? We saw that with some of the people that he hired. Now, he knows a lot better this time. This time it's going to be a whole hell of a lot different. The governor said after meeting with Biden on Wednesday that they were reassured about his campaign and they fully back him. Biden admitted that he faltered in the debate in a Wisconsin radio interview that aired Tuesday. "I had a bad night," he said. "I screwed up. I made a mistake. But I learned from my father, when you get knocked down, just get back up. And you know, we're going to win this election. We're going to just beat Donald Trump as much as we did in 2020. Some of the country's leading media outlets, two House Democrats, and others have called for Biden to leave the presidential campaign in the wake of the debate and let a different Democrat take on Trump. The president argued that voters shouldn't be put off by his performance in the debate, but instead look at his long record of accomplishments. Yeah, of destroying the country. "I didn't have a good debate. That's 90 minutes on stage," he said. "Look at what I've done in 3.5 years. Yeah, look at what you've done in 3.5 years, Joe. 15 million criminal aliens. An absolute historic moment, withdrawing out of Afghanistan that looks worse than our last withdrawal out of Vietnam. Now people are blaming you for Ukraine. People are blaming you for Israel because I don't know. I mean, sure, it may be naive to just look at the Trump presidency and say no new wars, right? But when you look a little bit deeper, what was going on for there to be no new wars? Russia had every opportunity during that 4 years to invade Ukraine. As a matter of fact, he would have been more justified to go into Ukraine in 2016, 2017 than he was in 2022 because of what happened with Crimea and what happened with the presidential race in Ukraine. But, you know, some say the reason that didn't happen, and I truly believe this, is because we don't know what Trump is going to do. We don't know that if Putin invades Ukraine, if Trump's not just going to go all-out war and destroy Russia, right? That was probably on Putin's mind, right? Even if it's like a 5% chance that he does that, there's still that 5% chance, making him scared to make a move. Once again, peace in the Middle East. Why is that? Negotiations. Donald Trump is a negotiator. He's a businessman. He negotiated peace a couple of times over in the Middle East. Sure, Hamas has always attacked Israel, right? They attacked Israel during the Trump presidency, firing rockets. But they didn't fire themselves over the fence and kill 1,200 Israelis and kidnap a whole bunch of people. No, they didn't do that because they were probably worried that if they did, Donald Trump would go in and nuke the place. Some people might say, "Oh, well, that's ridiculous. A president..." Yeah, but you know what that does? That makes these foreign bad actors scared to do anything. Once again, peace in the Middle East. No new wars. There's a reason for that. But I just really wonder, you know, what are the Democrats going to do? Are they going to stick with Joe Biden? Are they going to say, you know, let's stick it out? Are they going to say, you know, screw democracy? Who cares what the people think? Who cares what the people want? And they're still trying to convince people that don't trust your lying eyes because they are lying to you, definitely. Optics is in everything. What you see is not reality, according to them. Joe Biden is still the best guy to beat, right? We've already proven that. There's evidence that Joe Biden can beat Donald Trump. He's done it before. But we know about the shadow campaign. We know that they changed rules, changed laws, and had hordes of Democrat activists to go around to Democrat residences to get Democrats to vote by mail. Yeah, they opened the door for fraud. And then go after Donald Trump because he saw that happening and thought, hey, this is fraudulent. It's cheating. You can't do this. So they went after him and indicted him, by the way, turning us into a banana republic. But I just love the whinging coming from the left because they just don't know what to do. Their base is in revolt right now because they were lied to, and when you get lied to by the corporate press constantly on a daily basis, they don't really like that. It's just funny the corporate press is still propping this guy up, even though it's you know, weekend at Bernie's, but on a presidential level at that. But it's just all utter insanity if you ask me. But I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comments section because I find it utter entertaining. It's just great to watch these people flounder and roll around on the ground, kicking themselves in the face. I'm just loving it. Let me know what you think. That's all I got for this one. I want to thank everybody for watching, and y'all try to have a good day and stay legitical. Peace.